Hello everybody, and welcome to Fishing for Truth, where Christian influencers become more than conquerors. And today I want to talk about your call. Your call. Yes, everybody has a call. We were all called to discipleship, to lead people to discipleship, right? To make disciples. But what about your particular call? What did God call you to? And I have found that seems to be the least asked question, the least asked question. And in my particular denomination, you're asked whether you're going to be an elder or a deacon or music ministry. They might then break that down to children's ministry or something else. But there's never really a conversation about when you got called by God, what happened? And what did God call you to do? And if you were going to go do that, what would that mean? And so I've seen people who accept a call and they go into a field that is just someplace in ministry, but not what they were specifically called to do. So there's that kind of permission. Somebody gave me permission to do this thing in ministry, so that's what I do. So I've had a lot of conversations lately with people who are saying, you know what, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that I want to continue with this. I'm not sure that this is meant for me. I don't know what to do. And I love having these conversations with people because I get to say, you know, what did God call you to do? That specific thing that he called you to do. And you're going to have people who challenge you all the time, who say, you know, what you're doing is weird. We don't understand it. We don't get it. Why are you doing this? And I heard this really great thing, and I shared this with a friend yesterday, and so I didn't make it up, and I don't know where it came from, but when you were called by God, who was on that call? Who was on that call? And was it a conference call, or was it just you and God? And so when you think about that, there's going to be people who are like, hey, well, you know, did God really say that? And what did God, you know, and why are you doing this? And, you know, people who don't agree or try to talk you out of stuff or think you're weird. And you need to remind yourself, when I got called by God, it was not a conference call. It was an individual call on my life for me. And that's what I'm going to lean into. So I hope that encourages you today to know that you don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for authority. You got called by God to go do a thing. You can go do it. And I read this article about, this is bonus material, by the way, not intended for the original recording, about false teachers. And they're just ripping on this guy. And they created a whole Facebook group for people who don't like this guy. And I'm like, really? That's where we're going to spend our energy instead of going out and genuinely making disciples? And I thought, that's why it's hard for me to go out into public and to say stuff and do stuff, because there's going to be somebody out there, and maybe even a whole tribe of people who disagree with you, who cut you down. And I think about the guy, so Bob Goff had a guy who was a witch doctor who got converted in jail and started preaching to the people in jail. Now and Bob was standing there. He said he got his theology was all wrong, but it was so beautiful because he was attempting to show people the way to Jesus, and to understand the love of the Father. And if we could genuinely do that, and try to help other people do that, instead of picking apart each other, I was just astonished that there's a whole Facebook group for people who dislike this one particular preacher. And I'm like, wow, people spend an awful lot of time doing a lot of stuff that's unnecessary. And if we believe that Jesus is going to come back, and that people genuinely will go to hell, and they don't understand the love of the Father, and they haven't comprehended forgiveness, we would spend more energy doing those things. So I want to inspire you for your call. I want you to be encouraged by your call. And just remember, it was not a conference call. And type that in the comments below, and I'll see you soon.